Well, welcome to KingPlayer TV. Tonight we have a special guest. We like on KingPlayer TV for everyone to introduce themselves. So, without further ado, go ahead and let everybody at KingPlayer TV know who you are.
My name is Chad Schultz. I own a company called Crutchware, and also run sound for Noisy Neighbors.
Noisy Neighbors. I think I heard that name before, a time or two. Been around for a while. So, Chad, tell everybody what Crutchware is for those who don't know.
I sell shirts, just supporting the local music community, Toledo in general. I all started out selling wristbands, but kind of want to move on and do some shirts, and just kind of noticed that, well, my wife being in a band, noticed that nobody is doing anything shirt-wise to support the local music community.
Gotcha.
Lots of people go out and see bands, but unfortunately, that's about it.
Right.
Now at least people can walk around and support music while they're not in a show.
Gotcha. I have a short story to tell you. I remember the old Martini and Newsies. I'm sure you know what that is, right? They had some kind of festival or something in their parking lot, and that's where I first seen your wristbands, and I bought 2 of them. I thought they were pretty slick. That's been a while ago, but that's where I first.
That was quite a while ago.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's where I first recognized what that was. I thought they were great. So I love your shirts too. So I wanted to get you on because I know you're a mainstay in the music scene, not only through Gina and the band, but also through your advertisements with your materials, your merchandise. I mean, everybody knows what they are now. So we'd like to get people on KingPlayer TV that supports a live local music scene. So welcome aboard. What made you get started? I know you talked a little bit about how nobody was doing something. What made you take the final push to get started with that merchandise?
I really just thought it'd be a good thing to do. Not to really try and make money, but just really get more people going out and seeing bands.
Got it.
Because we have an amazing amount of musicians around here and amazing talented musicians.
Right.
So it's just, actually the music scene around here is probably, and I know saying Nashville is bad, but you can compare it to Nashville.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, and any night of the week you can go see local music.
Sure.
Whether it's an open mic night, whether it's just solo acoustic, whether it's full band, anything. There's always somewhere to see local music around Toledo.
I think more people need to hear that. More people need to recognize that it doesn't have to be Friday or Saturday to catch a good band. It can be any night during the week. I was in Nashville a couple years ago, and man, the music scene there is incredible. But when you come back here, to me, it's the same way. You can go any night of the week, like you said. You can go see somebody on Monday. You can go see somebody on Friday. Doesn't matter the night of the week.
It's a little more cutthroat in Nashville too, because you're paying for tips.
All tips.
I haven't been there yet, unfortunately. Plan to, but for you play for about an hour, you grab your stuff, hurry up, get off, because somebody else is coming on stage and they're about to play behind you.
It's eye opening. I mean, don't get me wrong. The talent there is incredible. You play straight for tips, and there's nothing abnormal about seeing someone. I play guitar. There's nothing abnormal about seeing a guitar player play at 3 o'clock in one band, 6 o'clock in the other, and 9:30 with his band. They just bounce around, but it's straight for tips. So you have to know what you're doing. But this music scene here is quite similar, where like I said, you can go and see anybody at any point during the week. You don't have to wait for the weekend. So that leads me to my next question. What's your assessment of the music scene today versus 5 years ago here locally?
It's definitely gotten bigger. It's definitely gotten way bigger. Of course, more and more talent as people get a little bit older and they're playing out or just start playing.
Sure.
The nice thing is too, like, everybody helps each other now. Where it used to be before, it didn't happen as much.
Yeah.
Now people are getting gigs for other people, or hey, I can't play this, can somebody play? Rather than just let it go. It just seems like everybody gets along a lot better. It's not cutthroat at all. Well, I know it's still out there, but
yeah,
not like it was.
Well, it used to be, kind of a little bit of a political game, but now I think the fact that bands just are good,
Yeah,
bands are
it's-
better. They kind of music speaks, and sometimes it takes a little while, but it's almost undeniable when you have a good band come around that they're gonna be around and they're gonna get to the good places that they can be seen at. So, as far as crutchwear goes, so you started this venture. Were you by yourself? Did you have a partner? Are you currently by yourself? Tell me a little bit about that.
It's pretty much just me.
Okay.
I have somebody print my shirts and things like that. Designs are usually my idea. I just have someone else draw them because I can't draw. But luckily I know some talented people. Other than that, my wife Gina pretty much is my IT person because I don't know computers very well.
I understand.
So she helps me on that stuff. But other than that, me setting up a show, it's pretty much me as far as pretty much everything is, for the most part, me. I mean,
Okay.
I have help if I need it, but yeah, that's actually one of the reasons why I can only do so much. 'Cause
Right.
It's just me.
Where do you find the inspiration for some of your designs? Talk to me about your designs. Where's that inspiration come from?
The bad thing is every time I get an idea, I look it up somewhere, just Google it or look around, and unfortunately somebody's already done it. And I've had a few ideas I wanted to do that the Mud Hens already kind of do.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's one person one company you don't touch.
Yeah.
You don't get anywhere close to their stuff because you'll get a letter. Which I haven't yet, thank God. But
Right.
it's pretty much just I was trying to do a bunch of different instruments and trying to figure out what I could do with that.
Sure.
I don't know, sometimes if you really just think, you can't think of anything, and then all of a sudden something pops in your head one day that you're trying to think of a design. So I have a few that I want to do right now, but just money-wise and storage-wise it's gonna have to wait.
Understood. So, out of all the designs that I've seen, and it used to be, for me, your wristbands. But my favorite shirt right now is the shirt you're actually wearing, because I'm a guitar player. I love guitar picks. So that one is pretty cool. So you said you're working by yourself. What inspires you to keep this thing going? Because I know you earlier, we talked off camera, and you talked about it not being to make a living or anything like that. What's the inspiration for you continuing to just make the merchandise?
I love Toledo. First and foremost, lived
Awesome.
here my whole life. I'll be 45 in a couple months, so I've lived here my whole life. I mean, I got the tattoo, I got
Yeah.
more Toledo tattoos.
Yeah.
That's work in progress, but I love the music scene around here, so it's just support that. Plus, I do like to give back as much as I can. I'll donate stuff for benefits. If I set up at a benefit, I always donate 20% back.
Mm-hmm.
I like to give back because I can. And I feel like if you can afford to give back anything, you should. I mean, there's no reason not to, even if it's something small. A little bit of your time. I'm more than happy usually to donate a few shirts to a good cause, or even more. It just all depends on the cause. Sometimes I turn down people because I have to, because I can only give so much. But yeah, it's just that's really I just love the city, so I want to support it, and I want more people to show. Really, one of the reasons why I do the Toledo shirts is I want people to show love for their city.
Nice.
If you live here, show that you love it.
Right.
And hey, some people don't love it, and it happens.
But the thing is that you took the initiative to come forward and do it. And like you said, you can give when you can give. But the point is, you're out there doing it. You're pushing that local music scene through your merchandise, which is a good thing. Because, at the end of the day, there are a lot of people that you and I know that just aren't doing what you're doing. So, it's a good thing. It's a good thing for you. What would be a typical weekend for crutchwear? When we're talking about going out to the music scene, are you going to shows? Are you doing trade fairs? Tell us what you're doing with the crutchwear on a typical weekend.
Well, it depends on the weekend, but every once in a while I'll set up at a show or a benefit. But then again, it also depends if my wife's band's playing. If she's there, if she's playing, then I'll be there loading in, help set up a little bit, run sound, and then tear down, load out. But if she's not playing, usually me and my wife are out seeing bands. That's what we do. Say this weekend, Friday and Saturday, we'll probably see. It's gonna be a busy weekend. We have to map out everything we want to see. There's so many bands that we want to see. That
Right.
We will probably see 8 bands Friday and Saturday.
Nice.
If not more.
That's dedication.
It could be more.
Dedication.
But yeah, it's we usually don't. If we go see a band, it's usually not the whole show.
Yeah.
We go for about a set, and then we go see somebody else, and then jump around just to make sure we kind of see all the people we want to.
Right.
Actually, after we're done here, I'm going to see a couple of people. So
There you go. But it's dedication, but we like it. We like the fact that when you recognize that there's good talent in the city, you got to get out and support it. Not, in my opinion, there's not enough people getting out and supporting when they're not doing something themselves. So we can all improve in those areas, But tell us a little bit about some of your merchandise. What do you currently have? What are you currently selling?
right now I have seven different shirt designs, 2 different hoodie designs. I think I got about 9 different stickers, pint glasses, shot glasses, koozies, enamel pins, women's tank tops. I'm trying to think what else I got. I'm sure there's my wife. I have guitar picks. My wife makes guitar pick earrings for me.
Nice.
I'm sure there's something else I'm leaving out, but yeah, it's whatever basically can fit in my truck.
Nice. So, is there any thing special coming up? Anything current that you're going to be having some merchandise? Any kind of festivals coming up? What's coming up for you that's big enough for you to pull the truck up, set up shop, and move some merchandise?
March 4th, Acoustics for Autism.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about that.
There have been, I think the count is 68 bands there this year.
Okay.
68 bands and acoustic acts. It's at the Village Idiot, Buster Brown's, Small Box Music. There's I think it's the American Legion. Could be wrong. Could be VFW. Then there's also the Elks, and then the Beer Tent, which is a giant tent that's set up behind the Village Idiot.
Sure.
I'll have a table there.
Well, now, where's your table going to be at?
It'll be in the beer tent.
In the beer tent.
So the beer garden tent, I think they call it.
Okay, and tell us where that's going to be at again. The beer tent.
It's in the parking lot right behind the Village Idiot. There's a pretty good sized parking lot, and it will take up the whole entire parking lot.
Gotcha.
But I'll have all of my shirts plus a special shirt for just that day. They usually do a shirt that has a puzzle piece on it for autism. I'll have that just that day. I'll have a St. Patty's Day shirt that's new this year. Plus all my hoodies, and I won't have pint glasses, things like that. It's just too hard to take in there. But 20% of my total sales will be donated to Project I Am, which is hosting the event.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. So are there time frames that you're going to be there, or are you going to be there all day?
I will set up at probably 10 in the morning. The beer tent opens at noon. I think the beer tent closes around 11. So I'll tear down then, and then we'll probably go to the Village Idiot after.
Okay.
And last year they kicked us out.
Village
really
Idiot.
About 2:30.
The place with the great pizza.
Oh yeah.
The great pies, right?
Yeah, I think they're just doing. That place gets so packed they actually won't let anybody in after a while there.
Right. We played there 2 years ago. We played the autism benefit, and I think I don't know if they ran out of pizza or they just weren't letting anybody else in to get it.
They actually will have people at the door saying we're full, because I mean, it's literally wall to wall in there.
Right.
And the pizzas, I think they end up doing like a pepperoni and a cheese, just because they as soon as, I think they do them by the slice too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just too hard for them to do specialty pizzas that day. It gets so busy.
Wall to wall in there.
Oh, it gets crazy. It's just insane automatically.
How
together.
How do your sales go? Do you do pretty good there for the benefit?
Last year I almost sold out of everything.
Nice.
Which I had a lot of stuff there, and yeah, it was crazy. Luckily, a few people were walking by at the time, and I couldn't keep up, and they jumped by my table and helped me out. People are actually getting mad at me at 9:30 at night that I was out of a lot of things.
Really?
I was there for almost 12 hours already, and it's like there were 10,000 people there. So yeah, it was just, of course, I think a few of them had too much to drink, but
Gotcha.
Yeah, it happens.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit more about music, and then we'll let you get out of there so you can catch some other bands. So I know the other half is in Noisy Neighbors. Mm-hmm. Your better half, some people would say.
Oh, she's way better half than me.
So if we went out to your car right now and we wanted to turn on some music, tell us 5 bands you'd be playing in your car right now.
Unfortunately, my radio doesn't work right now, so you can't. But trying to think what's in my CD changer.
Yeah.
I know I have Beastie Boys License to Ill. Beastie Boys Paul's Boutique is in there. Let's see what else is in there. I can tell you there's at least 2 Run DMC CDs.
Nice.
What else is in there? There's actually I know there's a CD in there. I made it up a long time ago. It's just a bunch of my favorite songs that I made probably like 10 years ago.
Gotcha.
And then I think what's another one? It's 6 discs. I think Chevelle might be in there still. I don't know. It's hard to say.
All right.
But yeah, it's pretty much. I listen to pretty much a little bit of everything. But
that's good. That's good. There's a lot of eclectic talent around town, so get a chance to hear different kinds of music too around town. So here's another quick question for you, and Gina liked this question too. If you were stranded on a desert island and you had to take one piece of music, you can't say CDs no more because they don't do CDs, it's digital downloads. So if you had to take one piece of music to listen to every day, what would it be?
It's a tough one, but I would probably say Paul's Boutique by Beastie Boys.
All right.
I've just always been a big fan.
Yeah.
But I just read their book too, over Christmas. They actually, when they did Paul's Boutique, the record company just said, "Oh, we're busy with something else right now, so we're not going to promote it." So they really didn't promote it at all. And it's a great CD, and a lot of people don't know about it as much because it didn't get pushed like License to Ill or some of their other ones.
Right.
But I think it's great. Every song is completely different, and just the writing they do with 3 people having to do everything, to have to write it, and the way they jump in.
Yeah.
I think it's one of my favorites.
Gotcha. So just a couple more questions, and then we'll kick you loose. One of which I consider those who travel around town, especially not even on the weekend, to catch bands. I consider them music historians. The reason why I do that is because you know where to go and catch good bands at. So talk to KingPlayer TV and tell young and upcoming bands or bands that are new to the scene, how would you get them into a club or a bar? Tell them what you think they need to get themselves noticed. What would you think?
You definitely want to do a promo pack. Get some videos recorded, get some songs recorded, pictures. That's the best way. That's the best thing you can send out to bars, because most of the time, anybody at a bar doesn't have the time to go see another band. Like if you're working at a bar, usually like if you're the owner or manager, you're there most of the time, so you don't have a chance to go see other bands play. So yeah, the electronic promo pack is the best thing you possibly do, or you just hope maybe you can get in there on an off night. Like I know Barroom 45 used to do Noisy Neighbor Star there on Thursdays. And just to see how they did, they played Thursdays there for a little while, and then all of a sudden they got in on Fridays and Saturdays. But
Gotcha.
yeah, it's a lot of times you just hope maybe word of mouth people. Actually, you can have friends of yours say, just tell them, even on Facebook, just say, hey, check out this band, they should play there. That might help too, or
Yeah.
not bug them too much. But
There's a part two to that question now that you answered it the way that you did. So when you walk in to a club, bar, wherever you go, what holds your attention to make you want to stay from the band that you're seeing? What kind of advice would you give to that same young band that would make you, because when you go in, you hear music and you pretty much go, not just on weekends, correct? So when you get in there, what would hold you to make you want to stay and watch that band longer than normal?
I mean, some bands want to try a gimmick, which to a certain extent it's alright, but I mean, you have some people that just go a little too far with it. Move around a little bit. Just make sure you're not standing like a statue, because there's nothing worse than seeing that. Even if you're amazing, if you just stand there and don't ever move, take the mic off the mic stand or anything like that, and you don't have to show off. You don't have to constantly twirl your sticks or do all the cheesy stuff.
Gotcha.
But just move around, at least like engage with the audience.
Yeah.
Act like they're there. Just like Van Halen. When they end up getting signed, they were playing to a club of, I think there was like 10 people there.
Mm-hmm.
But they acted like they were playing in an arena.
Sure.
And that's why they got signed.
Sure.
Not just because of the music, because they had the part. I mean, they showed that they didn't care if it was dead or not. They were still putting on a show.
You just have to respect the music, no matter if it's 20 or 20,000.
And I know it's tough to play to nobody. It's boring. And I know every band hates it. No matter what, just try not to look like, if you are playing to nobody, act like you're playing to a full house.
Correct.
Because nobody wants to see a band just mail it in, and because then you remember that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It happens.
Those are good answers. All right, so we appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming to check out KingPlayer TV, coming in the guitar room. Let us know all your social media platforms. Let everybody know where they can get Crutchwear at. Tell us where you're going to be coming up. Let us know all that good information, Chad.
You can always find me on Facebook. It's just under Crutchwear. You can like that page. I'm on Instagram. It's under Crutchwear419. My website needs to be redone really bad, so it's needed to be redone for a while. So unfortunately, you can't buy anything on there right now, and it's actually got a lot of my old wristband pictures and stuff. But in Toledo, you can get any of my shirts, stickers, glassware, everything but hoodies. You can get at Handmade Toledo, which is in Uptown Toledo, 1717 Adams. They also have some of my shirts over at Libby Factory Outlet, and in a few weeks, so towards the end of February, you'll be able to find, 3 of my shirts and my zip-up hoodie at Small Box Music. They're going to start carrying it too.
Nice.
So, other than that, Acoustic for Autism is going to be the best place to get stuff, because money goes to a good cause also, and that's March 3rd. So that's going to be, I have something else going on in April at Beer Stew, but I'm not sure the date yet.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can always send me a message on Facebook if you want anything. I can either ship it, or I can meet you somewhere if you live in Toledo, and that's the best way to do it right now.
So the point is, we can get to merchandise quite a few places.
I would like to have a few more places, but
Yeah.
little by little.
Very good. So everybody, don't forget to go on to the YouTube channel, subscribe, click the links below for Facebook at KP7, Instagram is KingPlayer Official, and Twitter is KP71. Comment down below. Let us know who you want to see, what kind of questions you want us to ask, and let's continue to keep this thing rolling. Season 1 should be wrapped up here pretty quick, and then we're going to start releasing some episodes. So stay tuned. Chad, thanks for coming to join us, and we'll look forward to seeing you around town, especially at the autism event. And we look forward to seeing more of your merchandise. And I got to get me another wristband because I think I lost mine in Indiana. So thanks for coming, man. Talk to you soon.